We got a question here from Ayaz Hanifaz. Is getting a short-term rental better than a long-term rental? I got my first long-term rental. I have no cash flow, maybe 50 to 100 bucks, depending on any repairs. I've been leasing my property for the last 4 months. I manage it myself. Are there any tax benefits for long-term rentals that can outperform or short-term rental? Thank you so much for this wonderful show.
Yes, thank you so much for the question. There was a lot there. I think that the bigger question is a short-term rental better than a long-term rental or vice versa. I won't say one is better than another. They're just different, right? In the short-term rental, what you're betting on is that you're going to see a higher yield each month, higher cash flow amount each month. And what you're betting is more management, more hassle, more headache, more reliance on teammates to be able to accomplish that for you. And that's the bet that you're making. And some do quite well, some do not do very well at all. There's other risks that come along with short-term rentals that you don't necessarily have to the same degree with long-term rentals. Largely like if we go into a recession and you have a vacation rental or a short-term rental that is in an area that is largely dependent on tourism, how's it going to fare? So the bet you're making is better cash flow year one, or in the short run, more variables, and sometimes you do better, sometimes you do worse. But on the long-term side, there are tax advantages that you get for both short-term and long-term, but long-term, generally you get better tax advantages. And the main reason is because on the short-term side, there typically are additional taxes and regulations that you have to pay because it's a short-term rental, and that will depend on the area that you're investing in. But long-term, you don't have to worry about that. Long term, you get better tax savings because you're able to use depreciation write-off to defer the taxes that you would have to spend on. And I could talk all day about that. So if you have additional questions, my team would love to sit down with you, Ayaz, and go through those tax savings with you. And then what else?
That was pretty good. I mean, Ayaz did mention managing it, self-managing.
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering if you're looking at this investment the right way, right? Most average investors look at a rental property investor, whether that's short term or long term, and they look at it in a myopic sense. They look at it based just on the cash flow, and that's how they would determine the success of the portfolio. And what I really challenge folks to do is to look beyond just one profit center, to look at all five profit centers. There's a lot of clients, a lot of portfolios that I put together for clients where their cash flow break even 4 months into their investment. That is success because number one, they bought with the right team supporting it. So that it's truly passive for them, BJWB supporting it, right? A vertically integrated provider. And then year one cash flow for them is not the goal because where they were coming from, their money was in stocks or bonds, which they were getting little to no year one cash flow anyways. So year one cash flow is not the goal. In fact, we put the portfolio together specifically to get more growth and give up year one cash flow, so that we could build the best portfolio for them long term. And then, of course, they're excited about this investment, even though they're not getting year one cash flow. It's because they're earning more from all five profit centers than they are wherever their money was before. So I would just maybe potentially challenge you to reframe how you're looking at this investment. You may have a really wonderful investment, even though it's not producing positive cash flow. Although it does sound like you're self-managing, which usually is not a lot of fun. So, maybe look to have somebody be able to help you out with that. JWB, if you're here locally in Jacksonville, and your property is locally in Jacksonville, we'd love to help you out with that. But probably just reframing and thinking about how you're at this investment, you might be a lot happier than it sounds like you are, even though you're not earning positive cash flow right now.